Have you ever stopped to think about what really makes a golf coach, well, great? It's not some secret swing or one magic tip. Nope. It's actually a much deeper, more structured way of thinking. Today, we're going to peek inside the mind of an elite instructor, using the PGA's own material to see what makes them tick.
So let's just ask the question right up front. What is it? What's that secret sauce that separates a good coach from a truly great one? Is it that they were a better player or they're a better talker? Well, those things can help for sure, but the real difference, it lies in their entire system.
And this right here, this really gets to the heart of it. A good teacher, they might have a method. They're one way of doing things. But a great teacher, they've got a whole toolbox full of methods. They don't just prescribe a fix. They're more like a doctor. They diagnose the problem, they evaluate you, the individual, and only then do they prescribe a solution that's tailored just for you.
And that idea leads us directly to the secret we're talking about. It's not a single swing thought. It's a complete framework, and it's called a teaching methodology. This is the foundation, the bedrock that all great coaching is built on.
So what is a teaching methodology, really? Think of it like a coach's entire playbook. It's everything they believe about the golf swing, all the tools they use, the drills they know, and their theories on how we learn best. It's the whole system they use to build a totally personalized roadmap for every single student.
And if there's one word to take away from this, it's customization. The old days of trying to jam every single golfer into one perfect cookie-cutter swing model, they're over. Great modern coaching is all about adapting the teaching to the student, not forcing the student to adapt to some rigid ideal.
Okay, so let's see how this works in the real world. We'll start with the big one, the full swing. This is where a coach's philosophy really shines, because let's face it, no two golf swings, and definitely no two bodies, are exactly alike.
The key concept here is matching. A great coach understands that what works for a tall, lanky, flexible golfer is probably going to be a disaster for someone who's shorter and stronger. So they match the fundamental pieces, the grip, the posture, the swing path, to your specific body type.
Let's look at a few examples of what this matching looks like. If you have a weaker grip, well, that's going to work best with a more active, lively release of the hands and arms. On the flip side, if you've got a really strong grip, that pairs beautifully with a powerful body rotation and much quieter hands. It's all about making sure the different parts of your swing are working together, not fighting each other.
Okay, that all sounds pretty good in theory, right? But how does a coach actually use this stuff during a lesson? Let's take one of the most common problems that pretty much every amateur golfer fights with and see how a great coach tackles it.
Ah, yes, the slice, that weak shot that peels off to the right. We all know it. It's caused by an open club face at impact. Millions of us have struggled with this. Now, a good teacher might just yell, "Release the club." But a great teacher, they dig a little deeper to find out why the face is open.
And here's the expert diagnosis. A lot of the time, that open club face is a direct symptom of a grip that's just too weak. So the prescription isn't just a vague idea. It's a specific mechanical change. Strengthen the grip. That one change makes it so much easier to naturally release the club and get that face square at impact. See? Simple, direct, and matched to the root cause.
Okay, let's move from the long bombs to the finesse shots. The exact same thinking, the same methodology, applies to the short game, which, let's be honest, is where you really save strokes.
And here's a classic battle every coach faces. They know the fastest way to drop your handicap is to get better from 100 yards and in. But all we students want to do is smash the driver. A great coach has methods to get their students to actually buy in and see the value of practicing around the greens.
Let's look at another super common fault, but this time around the green. The scoop. You know the one. It's that flippy, wristy motion where you try to help the ball up into the air. And what usually happens? A chunky shot or a bladed one across the green. It's an absolute score killer.
So how do you fix it? Again, it's not just talk. It's a specific, hands-on solution. The coach might pull out an impact bag to give you the feeling of solid, compressed contact. They'll use drills, like swinging with just your lead hand, to teach your body what shaft lean is supposed to feel like. It's all about replacing a bad feeling with a new, correct one.
Now, we've mentioned a few tools, so let's take a closer look at what the modern coach has in their bag. It's not just about having a good eye anymore. Technology plays a massive role in great coaching today.
And this is a really crucial point. The tech isn't just there to spit out a bunch of confusing numbers. It's a communication tool. It helps a coach make the invisible visible. It lets them show you, clearly, why the ball is doing what it's doing. And that understanding, man, it just speeds up the learning process like you wouldn't believe.
And the toolkit is pretty diverse. It can be something as high-tech as a launch monitor that costs thousands of dollars, or as simple as a piece of string for an alignment aid. A great coach knows exactly which tool to pull out, for which student, to solve which problem. The goal is never complexity, it's always clarity.
This really highlights the big change in golf instruction. For decades, it was all about trying to make your swing look a certain way. But now, with these modern tools, it's about what's actually happening at the moment of truth, at impact. The focus has shifted from how it looks to what the objective data tells us.
So what are they looking at? They're measuring things like your swing plane, your angle of attack, and then what the ball is doing. Its speed, its spin rate, its launch angle. By measuring these numbers before and after they make a change, both the coach and the student get instant objective proof that the fix is actually working. It totally removes the guesswork. So that brings us to the ultimate question. With all these tools and methods, how do we know if a student is truly learning? Hitting one good shot on the range is nice, but that's not the whole story.
Well, there's kind of a ladder of learning. Step 1, can the student just perform the correct move in practice? Step 2, do the numbers get better on something like a launch monitor? And then, step 3, the big one, can they take that new skill and actually use it on the golf course, under pressure?
Because at the end of the day, that's the whole point, isn't it? A pretty practice swing is one thing, but the true measure of success for any coach, for any methodology, is helping a golfer shoot lower scores when it actually counts. Getting that skill to transfer from the range to the first tee. That's the final exam.
So let's wrap this up with a question for you and your own game. It's so easy to get lost in a sea of YouTube tips and swing thoughts, but take a step back and ask yourself, how do you really measure if you're getting better? Is it just your score, or are you tracking your progress in a more structured way? It's something to think about.